Hello, my name is HAPruitt, and I'm the author of Anelthalien and the second book in the Anelthalien series, Earthquaking. And in this video, I'm going to do a book review of another Christian fiction book. And I want to say how important reviews are before I start the review. Reviews help readers know that books exist. Without reviews, the word doesn't spread about books and nobody knows about them. And so if you read a book, please review it to let other people know that it's out there, that it's available. And book reviews are especially important for this book and the books by this publisher, because this publisher that I'm gonna do the review of, the book is by a publisher, it's not the publisher itself. They're going out of business. I believe that you won't be able to buy their books anymore after December 1st, 2021. And so if you're watching this video before then, please watch this video. Please go to the publisher, look through their books. They have a lot of different books, and buy from them if anything sounds remotely interesting to you, because it may not be available for much longer. And especially listen to this review about this series and go buy the series because it's really good. So the book series that I'm going to review today is the Heartmender series, and this is Heartmender. Heartmender is the third book in the series. I won the third book in a giveaway, but I had already been reading the first book and I really loved it, and that's why I entered the giveaway. So this is the physical book I have. The other two books I have in my Kindle, so I'll hold this one up for you. They kind of look similar on the cover. So the first book, Heartmender by V Romas Burton, it's an exciting, insightful journey that teaches the value of a heart. So it opens up with Adelaide Tye, and she's the main character. And when I won the giveaway, I got a lot of cool stuff, and some of the cool stuff I won was, close my book, was character pictures. And so this is Addie, or Adelaide. She goes by Addie in the majority of the book. So Adelaide Tye watches her brother trade his heart for an unknown choice and lives in fear until the day she is supposed to trade her own heart. When the time comes to trade her heart away, Adelaide chooses instead to listen to the strength she never believed she had and search for her brother. So that's Adelaide, and her brother is Lyle. I got his picture too. I'll show you Lyle. There's Lyle. So Adelaide looks for her brother, Lyle. And when I started reading the first book in the series, Heartmender, I knew it was an allegory. It's very obvious, and it's so apparently an allegory for people, how people like trade away their hearts for the world and for like anything that catches their attention and never find satisfaction from those things. It was such a literal allegory that I was like, am I gonna like this book? Is it gonna be like so literal it's like a little tedious? But I ended up enjoying it. And it shows how we figuratively do that, how we trade away our hearts for things, and how we don't really notice that we do it. The people in the book, they kind of become apathetic, kind of numb to their emotions, and so by the time they get to the age where they trade away their hearts, they don't really care, and so they just do it. And that is definitely an allegory for how people in the real world just give their hearts to whatever activity, whatever thing, and don't really think a whole lot about it, and just spend so much of themselves and give so much up, and end up losing themselves in that. I wrote in my notes, people just keep bouncing to a new temporary satisfaction. That's what the book shows. Adelaide, though, Addie, she can see what's going on, and she hasn't lost her emotions, and she doesn't want to partake in this heart trading stuff going on. And I won't tell you exactly what she chooses, but it takes her on this big adventure and teaches her so much about how easy and how awful it is to trade your heart away. So she makes a good choice and a very difficult choice. So the positives in the first book, in the Heartmender series, their titles are really similar, and so it's hard to remember which one's which a little bit. In the Heartmender series, the biggest positive is that the lessons the story teaches. The main allegory is really clear, and it's proved more and more as the book goes on, and the story kind of has like mini allegories that show it too. And the lessons, they don't feel like lessons at all. It feels like an adventure. It feels like a journey. It feels like something leading up to something even bigger, but there's big spots along the way where you learn a lot. I really enjoyed the steps a lot. The plot is really well paced and it's really engrossing. Like I said, I started off and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this book, but then like something happened and you get hooked and you're like, I have to know what happens, I have to know what happens, and you just keep having to know what happens. It's really engrossing. Yeah. And how kind of the author wove together the past and the present, and how like there's this bigger story going on that you can tell is going on while you're in the present, and you really want to know more of the bigger story. That just keeps you wanting to read more to find out if you'll find out more of the bigger story. It's just woven together really well. So I also enjoyed the characters. Adelaide, she was really easy to relate to, and she's very human. She wants to do what's right, but she's a flawed human, and it's very difficult. She's not a perfect main character that's just there to show you what's right. She is there to kind of represent you and be like, life is hard, but you can make the right choice, even if it takes a little bit of learning. And I also really like Claire and Silas too. Claire and Silas. So Claire, I have Claire hair. She always wears her hair in a bun. And then Silas is Addie's friend. And I won't tell you anything about them. You just gotta read the book. I really enjoyed them. I like their stories a lot. And it was just a really fun book to read. I read it really quickly because I couldn't stop reading it. And I kind of do negatives usually with book reviews, but I didn't really have any negatives, so these are kind of not positives. Maybe. So I guessed quite a few of the mysteries and what was going to happen pretty easily, but that didn't bother me. It didn't take away from the enjoyment of the book. But some people say, like, if they can guess what's going to happen, that lessens the enjoyment, so I thought I'd include that. And also, the end is a little bit slow, but it fit, and so it didn't bother me at all. So that is the first book in the Heartmender series, Heartmender. The second book in the Heartmender series is called Heartbreaker. And it was also exciting. It also continued the story. Like I said, there was a bigger story out there and you knew it. And the first book ended without like telling you about the bigger story out there. And so the second book tells you a little more of the bigger story out there, and your adventure gets a little bit bigger. As I read it, I was really torn on my feelings of the characters. In the second book, you see more of all four of these main characters. I can't hold them all four up at once, but I'll show you Silas, because you see a lot more of him. So the characters, let me find my notes. They're definitely realistic and they're definitely consistent, but in certain things were happening to the characters and they weren't very likable people. But that was absolutely believable because these things happening to them, I mean, if that was real people and the things were really happening to real people, they would be ugly. They would be ugly, ugly attitudes. They'd be prideful. They'd be pugnacious. And considering that, after I finished reading it, that I was like, I don't really like the characters after this one. Considering that I would be pretty ugly too if those things were happening to me. I thought about how well done that was, that it's kind of scary to make your characters annoying or unlikable or realistic because people are not very likable in general when we're our natural selves. But it was a really good depiction of how it shows that our sin makes us ugly, that our sin makes us ugly, that our human nature makes us ugly, and we gotta fight it hard because it is very much there and it is very much trying to bring us down. That doesn't tell you a lot about the book, but it's a really good lesson from the book, you see. I also appreciated the second book is Heartbreaker, and it's a difficult one. It's a difficult journey. It's hard. And it shows how sometimes God's plans for us are the things that break our hearts, that we don't like what he has for us, that it's hard to take on these things that are ultimately good for all, but that are difficult. We have to make sacrifices. We have to learn about ourselves. We have to see the ugly in ourselves to grow and to be broken and to be mended in a way that makes us better. And so I really appreciated that message. And then, so that's all I'll say about the second book. It was really good. Then the third book, I don't know if the first or the third book was my favorite, but one of those was my favorite. The third book, Heartmender. It's a very satisfying conclusion to Heartmender series. I felt the stakes were really being heightened in so many ways, and the journey, it just seemed hopeless. It seemed like they couldn't do it. It seemed like they weren't going to make it. But I believed that there would be hope at the end, and so I kept reading and kept hoping, and I won't tell you what happens in the end. I will tell you, I loved seeing more of Silas and Lyle. I haven't showed you Lyle very much, or at all. I like seeing more of Silas and Lyle and learning about their backstories and learning about who they were as characters and seeing them develop. You got to see a lot more of all the characters in the Heartmender series, and it was just, I couldn't stop reading it, and I finished the book pretty quick, and you can see it's a good-sized book, and so I finished it pretty quick because it was just so good, I couldn't stop reading it. So the series is really fantastic, and I want to tell you that about, again, I said the publisher of this book, they have lots of other books, but it's called Monster Ivy Publishing. It's there on the back, you can't see it, so I won't show you, but it's called Monster Ivy Publishing, and to the best of my knowledge, they're going to go out December 1st, 2021. And so if these books sound at all intriguing to you, go buy them so you don't miss out. Go to their website. They have lots of different books. This is the book box I won from them. I just had to like their post and share it on Instagram. Is their, I don't want to spill things, Monster Ivy Publishing. There's their little logo. Their theme of all their books is edgy and clean. And the books definitely were edgy and clean. And I got a map of Decim, the world that this series takes place in. Got a little Heartmender mug, and I got tea in there and a little bookmark. La la la. And I don't know where they got these candles, Dio Candle Company. Never heard of it before. But they were character-themed candles, and I burnt them within 3 days of getting this box because they smelled so good. Not a promotion video, I just really thought the box was really cool, and I wanted to show you how much the publishing company does for its authors and does for its readers. Because, like I said, I just commented on their post and shared it on Instagram, and I got this really cool box, and I won that book too. The hardback book and all the character pictures, won it all for free. So they're a good publishing company. They have good books, and if you, like I said, if you at all thought this book sounded good, this series sounded good, go buy all three, because you'll just read them so fast. They're really good. I recommend them. I give all of them 5 stars. The second one, I think I might have given 4, but I can't remember right now. Right now, I think they're all 5-star worthy. So here is how to find V Romas Burton, how to find the Heartmender series, and how to find Monster Ivy Publishing, and also put links below in the description. One way to find the Heartmender series is monsterivypublishing.com. That's the publisher, and you can also learn about them on their website. This is their website, monsterivypublishing.com. Edgy, clean fiction with Christian values. And you can see Heartmender, well, that's Heartrender, this is Heartmender, is one of their featured books here. And they have a lot in their genres. And you can read about the books, you can see the characters, you can click the button to buy now, and it takes you, on my phone, it gave me options of where I wanted to buy it from. There we go. It gives you options of where you want to buy it from. So Heartmender and Heartbreaker and all the Heartmender series are available on all these different platforms, and I think, like I said, until December 1st of 2021. So if you want them, go and buy them from one of your favorite bookstores. You can also find out more about the Heartmender series on the author's website, vromasburton.com. This is the home page. It shows the Heartmender book, which is the newest book. You can also find out about the other books. There's book 2, and you can see the awards each book has won. And you can read about the books. You can start ordering the book. And you can also find out more about the author herself just by going here and looking at the different features in her website. So if you want to buy the Heartmender series, you can go to her website, the author's website. You can go to the publisher's website, or you can just go to your favorite bookstore and look it up there. This is the author, V Romas Burton, and you can find her on her website, which is what I'm showing right now, vromasburton.com, and no abbreviation in that name. The same thing on Instagram, at V Romas Burton, with no punctuation. And then you can also follow her on Goodreads at V Romas Burton, punctuated like a normal name is spelled. So follow her and support her as an author. So that is how to find the Heartmender series, V Romas Burton, and Monster Ivy Publishing. There's Addie, the main character. So go find the books, go buy the books. If you like a different kind of genre, look through their books and find something else you like. Support this publisher. Support these independent, I guess they're not independent. Support these small publishing house authors and just show them some love because their books may not be available anymore after that time. And they worked hard on those books. After writing a book, you learn, like, it's a really laborious task. And so, like, they're your babies. They're really your babies, and you want people to know. So support these authors. And please, if you read any books, please review books, because that helps people know about books. That's how I found out about these books, through other people reviewing them and saying how much they love them. And I was like, well, everybody loves this book. I gotta read it. So please review books like the Heartmender series, like Anelthalien. Please review books so other people will think, wow, this book was good. A lot of people liked it, so maybe I would too. Review books. Thank you very much for watching. Bye! If you want to know more about Anelthalien or HAPruitt, please follow me on Instagram at HAPruitt. You can find me on Amazon as an Amazon author, HAPruitt. Please watch my YouTube channel and all my cool videos on my channel, HAPruitt Anelthalien. You can find me on the Facebook page, HAPruitt Anelthalien. You can follow me on Goodreads by the name HAPruitt and the book Anelthalien, or you can go to my website where so much cool stuff about Anelthalien is. The website is HAPruitt.com. Romas, I don't know. Okay. There's my nose. Okay. V Romas Burton's website.